Hello, my name is Gary Axamit. I coach founders and investors on business plan ideation and execution in this world of black swan events. These are only my opinions. This is not financial advice. If you like what you see here, go follow me on TikTok and YouTube. There's a lot more content. So I've talked about the Hoover maneuver, and you hear people like on CNBC or Bloomberg, you'll hear an economist or somebody come on, an analyst, and say, you know, America's baby boomer generation is sitting on $20 trillion, and this is all going to be passed down to the next generation. Bullshit. I'm crying bullshit on that one right now. If you think Wall Street is going to if you think Wall Street in Washington, D.C. are going to let $20 trillion of money just pass from one generation's hands to the next without paying the little leprechaun his due, no. Reverse mortgages, HELOCs, credit card debt, no savings. This is all going to just kick people in the ass. So I saw a statistic a while back that said 65% of Americans who are millionaires do not consider themselves wealthy. And I then went on to read the rest of the story, and it was quite well written. You really had to kind of dig into it to get to the point, because they didn't want to throw anybody under the bus. But they made a really, really good point. That when they dug into that polling, what they found out was most people today who fall in that $500,000 to $2 million net worth area, most of their wealth is tied up in their house. And this is the net effect of leaving Glass-Steagall. And if you want to Google something, go Google Glass-Steagall. And if you want to Google something else, read about what they replaced it with. They replaced it with Gramm-Leach-Bliley Act in 1990. Well, give you a little backstory, and then I'll get back to home equity. So 1996, Bill Clinton wins in a landslide, wins re-election. And he turned to his head of Health and Human Services, which was Cuomo, and he said, let's do something nice for our friends in Wall Street. So they decided that every American needs to own a house. And I'm going to tell you, this is going to really sound awful, but not everybody should own a house. Not everybody's capable of owning a house. Not everybody's capable of working through the responsibility of owning a house. But, okay, fine, everybody wants a house. So, prior to the repeal of Glass-Steagall, Glass-Steagall finds its origination back in 1930 to 32. This was a Roosevelt era thing. It was to rein in speculation on Wall Street. It was to bifurcate Wall Street banking from things that were not considered speculative, meaning insurance and home ownership and things like that. Those are basic human needs and shouldn't be turned into lottery tickets. Well, we turn housing into lottery tickets now. And that, along with 10 years of zero interest rates, or ZIRP, as the economists like to call it, has created a gigantic bubble in housing, and has created a gigantic bubble in commercial real estate, and has created a gigantic bubble in agricultural real estate. So here we are. So you have people who have a majority of their wealth tied up in a physical asset that they can't afford to live in if they're not fully employed. So let's stop and let's unpack that for a second. So you're making $100,000 a year, you're living in a house that's paid for, you've got a bunch of equity, and you hit retirement age. That house is still going to cost you a ton of money to live in for maintenance. Okay? And your car is still wearing out, and to replace your car is still going to cost you $1,000, $1,500 a month payment on the car. It all is right there in front of you. The life that you are currently living is going to be the life that you're going to continue to have to live. without the income because you're now retiring. So now you have to figure out how to keep it going. So you go get a part-time job. Social Security allows you to do that, but the part-time job doesn't make enough money. In the beginning, the first few years it does, but as time goes by, things start to creep in on you and you can't keep the ball moving. So what do? You go and do a reverse mortgage, and you've just handed your equity in your house over to Wall Street, and then you're going to use that money to buy consumer shit and make payments on crap to try to get you as far as you can towards the end of your life. I'm sorry, but I am not interested in that life. Under no circumstances am I interested in living my life like that. And this was a lot of what I went through 5-6 years ago, was when I realized that the game had changed so much in just a few years' time. I cannot even begin to explain to you how insane from 2000 to 2009, the crash, then insanity again. I mean, this is nuts. We've turned the American, for a bunch of Americans who don't like stress, who don't want to take risks. Holy shit, you people who own these homes in the suburbs are some of the biggest freaking risk takers and gamblers I've ever seen in my life. You have put your entire life in the hands of a dozen unelected people at the Federal Reserve. No. Not interested in that. I'm going to be a Bitcoiner till the day I die. Because if you think that's the American dream, you can keep it.